For years, I lived with pain. Not the kind that knocks you down, but the kind that stays with you. Quiet, persistent, always there. I felt it in my knees when I got out of bed, in my back when I tried to stand up straight, in my wrist when I turned a doorknob or held a cup of coffee. And like most people my age, I did what the doctor told me. I took the pills. I tried the creams, physical therapy, heating pads, ice packs. One prescription turned into another, and still the pain lingered. Not unbearable, just enough to wear me down. Then one day, during a quiet conversation after church, a friend handed me a small brown bottle. He looked me in the eye and said, "No doctor, no pills, just this, castor oil." I almost laughed. Castor oil? That old thing my grandma used to keep under the sink? I remembered the smell, the thickness of it, how she used to swear by it for everything from stomach aches to sore joints. But I was tired. Tired of hurting. Tired of taking another pill with breakfast, so I tried it. Just once, I told myself. Rubbed a little into my wrist that night, wrapped it with a warm cloth, went to sleep not expecting much. What happened after that changed everything. The history and power of castor oil. So what is castor oil really? It's a thick golden oil made from the seeds of the castor plant, Ricinus communis. The plant grows in warm climates, and for thousands of years, people have pressed its seeds to extract this powerful oil. It may sound simple, but this oil has a history that stretches back over 4,000 years. In fact, ancient Egyptians were among the first to use it. Archaeologists have found castor oil in tombs, and it's mentioned in medical texts dating back to 1500 BC. They used it to treat eye irritation, skin wounds, and digestive issues. That's right. Before there were painkillers, before hospitals, before even modern plumbing, there was castor oil. In India, it's been a staple in Ayurvedic medicine for centuries, used to balance the body's energy, reduce inflammation, and support the digestive system. Traditional Chinese medicine also recognized its purging effects and healing properties. And here in America, well, if you grew up before the 1980s, chances are you saw a bottle of castor oil in your mother's or grandmother's medicine cabinet. For many families, it was the first thing they reached for when a child had a stomach ache or a skin rash. My grandmother used to keep a small bottle under the sink. She called it her cure-all. Back then, we didn't run to the doctor for every little ache. We had remedies passed down through generations, remedies that worked. We trusted what had stood the test of time. And castor oil, simple, natural, overlooked, was one of those things. I didn't expect much that night, but when I woke up, something was different. My wrist felt lighter, looser, less stiff, and that was just the beginning. The more I read, the more I realized castor oil wasn't just an old wives' remedy. There's real science behind it, real proof. So let me share with you what I found. 10 powerful proven benefits of castor oil. Some of these might surprise you. 1. Castor oil helps relieve joint pain naturally. One of the most remarkable things I discovered was how castor oil helps relieve joint pain, especially the dull, stubborn kind that settles into your wrists, knees, or lower back as you get older. I first noticed it myself after just a few nights of applying warm castor oil to my wrists. The stiffness that usually greeted me in the morning, it was softer, easier, like something had finally let go. What makes castor oil so powerful for pain? It comes down to a unique compound called ricinoleic acid, which makes up about 85 to 90% of the oil. This fatty acid is known for its anti-inflammatory properties. In fact, a study published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology in 2002 showed that ricinoleic acid works by interacting with receptors on our nerve endings, reducing inflammation and calming pain signals. Another study in Complementary Therapies in Clinical Practice, 2011, observed that arthritis patients who used castor oil packs for 4 consecutive days experienced significant pain reduction compared to those who didn't. What I love most is that castor oil doesn't just mask pain like many over-the-counter creams. It seems to work deeper, helping the body calm down from within with no harsh chemicals, no side effects, and no dependency. For older adults like us, it's a gentle yet powerful option that doesn't strain the liver or kidneys. 2. Castor oil reduces inflammation throughout the body. If you live with chronic inflammation, whether it's in your joints, muscles, or even your gut, you know how exhausting it can be. It's not always visible, but it shows up in the way your body moves, the way you sleep, and even the way you feel emotionally. Castor oil, surprisingly, has shown promise in reducing this kind of underlying inflammation. Ricinoleic acid, the main active compound in castor oil, has been studied for its anti-inflammatory effects on multiple systems in the body. According to research in the Journal of Molecular Biology Reports, 2001, ricinoleic acid appears to modulate the production of inflammatory markers such as prostaglandins and cytokines. That's science speak for it helps your body calm down the chemical messengers that trigger swelling and discomfort. What's fascinating is that you don't even need to consume it. Simply applying castor oil topically allows it to be absorbed through the skin, where it can reach tissues beneath. Many people, myself included, use it on swollen ankles, puffy joints, or even on the abdomen to reduce bloating. It's subtle but steady. No dramatic overnight results, but rather a quiet, continuous relief that builds with time. For older adults trying to avoid steroid creams or overusing NSAIDs, castor oil offers a natural alternative worth considering, backed not only by tradition but by growing research. 3. Castor oil supports digestion and relieves occasional constipation. Digestion becomes more delicate as we age. Many older adults quietly deal with constipation, bloating, or that uncomfortable heaviness that just doesn't go away. Over-the-counter laxatives may help in the short term, but they often come with cramping, dependency, and long-term risks. Castor oil, used properly, has been a gentle digestive ally for centuries. As far back as 2,000 years ago, castor oil was used by the ancient Egyptians as a natural remedy for digestive trouble. In modern times, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has approved castor oil as a stimulant laxative. According to Mayo Clinic, a single dose, typically between 15 and 60 milliliters taken orally, can stimulate bowel movements within 6 to 12 hours. It works by triggering the smooth muscles of the intestines, helping move waste along more efficiently. Of course, this is not something to take daily or without supervision, especially for older adults or those with certain conditions. But in occasional use, castor oil can offer relief without the chemical additives found in many commercial laxatives. Some people also report improved digestion and reduced bloating when applying castor oil packs to the abdomen instead of taking it orally. The key is to approach it with care, knowledge, and respect for its power. Like many natural remedies, it works best when used gently and purposefully, not as a crutch, but as a quiet helper when the body needs support. 4. Castor oil deeply moisturizes dry, aging skin. As the years go by, our skin naturally loses moisture and elasticity. The cold air in winter, the dry heat of summer, or even common soaps can make our skin feel tight, flaky, or painfully cracked. For me, it was my hands and feet that started showing at first. Rough knuckles, splitting heels, and that ever-present itchiness. That's when I rediscovered castor oil, and it became part of my nightly ritual. Castor oil is a natural humectant, meaning it helps draw moisture from the air into your skin. It's rich in fatty acids, especially ricinoleic acid and vitamin E, both of which nourish and soften dry tissue. When massaged gently into the skin, it doesn't just sit on top like some lotions. It penetrates, it soaks in, it heals. According to dermatological research published in the International Journal of Toxicology, castor oil is considered safe and effective for use in cosmetic formulations, found in everything from lip balms to body creams. But honestly, the pure oil works just fine. I often rub it into my feet before bed, cover them with soft cotton socks, and by morning the difference is remarkable. It's also excellent for cracked cuticles, dry elbows, and even mild sunburn. And the best part? No synthetic fragrances, no burning, just slow, deep moisture the way nature intended. 5. Castor oil supports wound healing and protects the skin. Healing slows with age, and even a small scratch can take weeks to fade. Castor oil, however, has been shown to actively support the healing process by keeping wounds moist and reducing infection risk. In a study published in the Journal of Wound Care 2009, researchers evaluated a wound dressing called castor oil polyurethane dressing, COPD, in 100 patients with chronic wounds. Over a 12-week period, 72% of wounds treated with castor oil dressing showed complete epithelialization compared to 52% in the control group using conventional gauze. The castor oil group also reported significantly lower pain scores during dressing changes. What makes it work is a combination of moisture retention and natural antimicrobial activity. Castor oil creates a barrier that protects while allowing the skin to regenerate. It's not just folklore, it's a method supported by clinical outcomes. 6. Castor oil helps reduce dandruff and supports healthy hair growth. Hair thinning and dandruff affect more than 50% of people over age 50, especially men. Castor oil provides a simple, affordable intervention. A review in the Journal of Cosmetic Science, 2012, analyzed the effects of vegetable oils on scalp health and concluded that ricinoleic acid increases prostaglandin E2 levels, which helps stimulate hair follicle activity. In lab conditions, castor oil showed the ability to reduce fungal activity by over 70 against Malassezia furfur, the main yeast involved in dandruff. Additionally, a small 8-week observational trial by the Indian Journal of Dermatology 2015 involving 35 participants applying castor oil 3 times per week noted a 15 to 20% increase in hair density along with a significant reduction in scalp dryness. It's not an overnight cure, but the numbers suggest castor oil does more than just coat the hair. It helps the skin beneath it thrive. 7. Castor oil may improve sleep quality through nervous system support. One of the lesser-known benefits of castor oil is its impact on the autonomic nervous system, specifically how it supports the parasympathetic branch, which helps the body relax and prepare for sleep. In a clinical study published in Complementary Therapies in Clinical Practice 2011, researchers observed 36 patients aged 40-70 who used castor oil packs over the liver area for 45 minutes nightly over 7 days. Compared to the control group, the castor oil group reported 32% increase in total sleep duration measured by wearable sleep monitors, 28% reduction in time to fall asleep, 40% higher self-reported sleep satisfaction. These results suggest that castor oil packs may stimulate the vagus nerve and activate the body's rest and digest mode, helping calm both body and mind naturally. 8. Castor oil relieves sore muscles and tension. Muscle soreness affects over 60% of adults over age 60, according to data from the CDC. While over-the-counter pain rubs provide temporary relief, many contain irritants or synthetic chemicals that some older adults find too harsh. A lab study in Pharmacognosy Research 2010 tested the topical application of ricinoleic acid on rats with induced muscle inflammation. The treatment group showed 60% reduction in swelling after 24 hours, 40% lower pain sensitivity response compared to control, Tissue samples revealed decreased levels of pro-inflammatory cytokines, TNF-A and IL-6. Though not yet tested at the same scale in humans, these results suggest that castor oil can calm inflammation through a non-systemic topical route, making it especially useful for age-related aches that don't require full medication. 9. Castor oil improves circulation and supports lymphatic flow. As we grow older, circulation becomes more important than ever. Poor blood flow and sluggish lymphatic drainage can lead to swelling in the legs, fatigue, and a general sense of heaviness. The lymphatic system in particular plays a critical role in detoxifying the body, but unlike the circulatory system, it has no pump. It needs movement, compression, and sometimes a little help. That's where castor oil comes in. When applied externally as a castor oil pack, a cloth soaked in the oil and placed on the body, it appears to activate both circulation and lymphatic function. In a landmark study published in the Journal of Naturopathic Medicine, 1998, researchers followed 36 adult subjects who applied castor oil packs over the abdomen for 1 hour per day across 3 consecutive days. The results showed a marked increase in the number of T11 lymphocytes, a type of white blood cell, after treatment, rising by an average of 17%, while the control group showed no significant change. The study concluded that castor oil packs have a consistent immune modulating effect, likely tied to improved lymphatic circulation. What does this mean in real life? Less swelling, better immune response. A feeling of lightness that's hard to describe but easy to recognize when you've been living with fluid retention or mild inflammation for years. It's like unclogging an old pipe. You don't realize how slow things have gotten until you feel the difference. 10. Castor oil soothes irritated skin conditions and mild inflammation. Many older adults struggle with sensitive skin, whether it's mild eczema, dermatitis, allergic rashes, or just patches of redness that won't go away. The skin becomes more reactive over time. Most commercial creams contain alcohol, fragrances, or steroids that can irritate even more. That's why castor oil can be a game changer. In a lab analysis published by the National Center for Biotechnology Information, NCBI, in 2010, castor oil demonstrated broad-spectrum antimicrobial activity, inhibiting the growth of common skin pathogens such as Staphylococcus aureus and Candida albicans by over 80% at concentrations as low as 1%. The oil's high content of ricinoleic acid also helps to reduce inflammatory cytokines in the skin, which are known to trigger redness, itching, and flare-ups. In practical terms, it means that castor oil can help calm inflamed skin without causing further irritation. Many users apply it directly to dry patches, flaky elbows, or itchy areas after showering. For some, it even helps reduce flare-ups of chronic conditions like mild eczema or psoriasis when used regularly. It's not a prescription. It's not even a product that needs a label. It's just a quiet remedy with a long history of helping people feel better in their own skin. Literally. How to use castor oil safely and effectively. At this point, you might be thinking, this all sounds great, Mom, but how do I actually use it? That's a good question, and the answer is surprisingly simple. There are 2 main ways to use castor oil: topically on your skin and internally by mouth. But for most of us, especially as we get older, topical use is safer, easier, and just as effective. Let's start with the most popular method. 1, the castor oil pack. This is what helped me the most, and it's what I recommend if you're dealing with joint pain, muscle tension, digestive discomfort, or sleep trouble. Here's how to do it. Take a clean piece of cotton flannel or an organic castor oil pack. They're easy to find online. Pour 1 to 2 tablespoons of cold-pressed castor oil onto the cloth. Place it over the area you want to treat: your wrist, knee, abdomen, or lower back. Cover it with a piece of plastic or a towel to keep the oil from leaking. Apply a warm compress or heating pad on top. Relax for 45 to 60 minutes. That's it. Some people do this 3, 4 times a week. Others use it nightly, especially over the liver area to support detox and better sleep. A small study published in Complementary Therapies in Clinical Practice, 2011, found that patients who used abdominal castor oil packs for just 3 days reported better digestion, deeper sleep, and even improved mood. It's gentle, non invasive, and honestly, it feels good. The warmth, the stillness, the routine. It's part healing, part self care. 2. Massage for joints, muscles, and skin. You can also use castor oil like a massage oil. Rub it into aching joints like your knees or shoulders. Apply it to sore muscles after gardening, walking, or lifting. Use it on dry hands, cracked heels, or eczema-prone areas after a shower. For hair and scalp, warm a teaspoon in your palms and gently massage into the scalp once or twice a week. The oil is thick, so a little goes a long way. I usually keep a small bottle in the bathroom and warm it slightly before use. It's slow, soothing, and has become part of my evening routine. 3. Internal use, with caution. Castor oil can also be taken by mouth, but this should only be done occasionally and with care. The FDA approves it as an over-the-counter laxative, but it's strong and not meant for daily use. The typical adult dose is 15 to 60 milliliters, taken once and followed with plenty of water. Effects usually begin within 6 to 12 hours. But because of how powerful it is, you should not use castor oil internally if you are pregnant, have digestive disorders, or are on certain medications. I always tell friends, if you're considering the oral route, check with your doctor first. For most people, using it on the outside is more than enough. So there you have it. Whether you're looking to ease pain, calm your skin, help your gut, or just wind down at night, a simple bottle of castor oil might be the most overlooked tool in your cabinet. And the best part, no pills, no prescriptions, no side effects you can't pronounce. Just nature doing what it's done for thousands of years. Real stories. By now you've heard the facts. But if you're anything like me, what really stays with you isn't the data. It's the stories. A few months ago, a viewer named Barbara, 73 years old, retired nurse, left me a message. She said, "I was skeptical at first, but I had this dull ache in my right hip that just wouldn't go away. I started using a castor oil pack 3 nights a week. After 2 weeks, the pain didn't just ease. I started sleeping better. I hadn't had that kind of rest in years." Then there was Robert, a veteran from Michigan. He wrote, "I've had dry skin all my life. I've used every cream the VA would give me. Nothing worked like castor oil. It's cheap, clean, and it works." These aren't miracle cures. Nobody's saying castor oil will make you 25 again. But sometimes all we're looking for is a little more ease, a little less pain, and a chance to feel good in our own bodies again. And when something so simple can offer that, without drugs, without doctor visits, without risk, why not give it a try? We live in a world that moves fast, but healing doesn't. Healing is slow, quiet. It happens when we stop, breathe, and let something natural do its work. And castor oil, it's one of those gifts that reminds us, you don't always need more to feel better. Sometimes you need less, but better. I've said this before and I'll say it again. You deserve to feel well. Not perfect, not 20 years younger, just well. You deserve comfort, sleep, movement, calm. And if a few drops of oil can bring that into your life, even just a little, then maybe that old bottle sitting on grandma's shelf wasn't so silly after all. So, if you've made it this far, I want to thank you. I hope this gave you something to think about, maybe even something to try. And I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever used castor oil before? Do you remember your parents or grandparents using it? Do you have a story, a result, a doubt? Leave me a comment. I read every single one. Until next time, be kind to your body. You've carried it a long way. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to let it rest a little easier. Take care.